Hi guys, welcome back. It's John from Optics Warehouse. So we've had a few comments looking at the X50 from the previous Quickfire review we did. So we're going to go into detail with that a little bit more on this one, and we're also going to be comparing it to the Nikko Stirling 10-50x60 Diamond. We're going to look at the pros and cons of each one, and we're going to see which one stands out to be on top. So guys, we're going to start with the Nikko Stirling. So this is the 10-50x60 Diamond. It's the third series of this scope, so you can tell that by the green turrets and the green magnification ring at the back. Now with the capped ones, obviously it is a nice touch having the capped windage. It stops it from being knocked when it's in and out of the bag. And the elevation one, most people will leave that off, probably lose it at some point, but you don't really need it. You've got the exposed turret there. Now the green on gold is quite difficult to see at times, especially in low light, or actually if you've got the sun blaring down on it, it can get quite difficult to see. There are a range of turrets you can get to make that a bit easier. But the clicks are nice and positive. Everything else about the scope, it tracks very well. The parallax on them is pretty good. I mean, you've got a nice gap between 50 and 55. Obviously, as you come down through the range, the gaps get larger as you go down. But your 50 to 55, it's around about a 5 or 6 mil gap, depending on the size of the side wheel. Now the side wheel they come with is this small one here. Now most people will either get a shark fin type wheel to make it that bit bigger, makes it easier for the range finding, or they disregard that one completely and get an aftermarket unit. So something like John Harris, AJP, Mick Tromans, something along those lines. It's a nice little touch to the scope as well. So clarity with it. Japanese glass, it is really, really nice glass for it. Everything, you see enough detail at downrange. Now you've got 3 reticles of this scope. You've got the standard mil dot, you've got the NATO, which is more the favourite one for field target, and then you've also got the illuminated mil dot. Now the illuminated one is becoming more popular, but I personally find the centre dot just that little bit too overpowering in the middle of it. You tend to lose a little bit of the target or when you're zeroing on paper. So my choice on that one would be the NATO reticle. So if we're going to move on to the Falcon, so that, once again, this is Japanese optics in it. I'd say possibly slight superior image quality to the Nikko. The turrets, once again, you've got 8th MOA, so it's a nice fine adjustment. Parallax, once again, it's about a 5 or 6 mil gap with the wheel that's supplied. So with the size of that wheel, it's not something you're then going to have to buy like on the Nikko. It's already big enough, and it's already a nice little bit of bling. It makes your rifle look a little bit nicer, and well, you look better missing if you do miss. So with the Falcon, you do get a lot in the box with it. So unlike the Nikko, you do get flip up covers rather than the bikini covers. So it's a nice touch. It means you're not going to have to go out and buy that after. You also got sunshade that comes with it. Now sunshade, it is quite a heavy unit, if I'm honest. It's built rather tough. It's exactly the same as the Sightron sunshades. So once again, you can get a lighter one if need be from someone like Rowan Engineering, but it will do the job, and as long as weight isn't too much of an issue, it's perfectly fine. So people have been asking about temperature shift on the Falcon as well. So with that, Adrian Cross, who works here, and he just shot in the recent Torred Vale GP this weekend, and he got a 43 out of 50 with it, which is extremely good shooting, especially considering it's in B grade. So yeah, to get in a score like that, in that sort of weather, it can't move that much. He shot AM session, so it's going to start off cold, and it's going to, last weekend moved up to around about 14 to 16 degrees. So for the cold weather coming across to warming up, there doesn't seem to be much of an issue at all. And as far as I'm aware, it only moves a couple of yards when you get above 24 degrees. So it is a very stable scope, very, very similar in performance to most of the Sightron range. So the reticle in the Falcon, it's the MOA 200. Now some people say it's a little bit busy. I personally prefer them few extra aim points on the windage. It reminds me a little bit of my Delta that I've got. And yeah, to be honest, I do prefer the reticle in that over the Nikko. I think it's a much easier to use reticle, and it also lends itself to bench rest if you feel the need to try and do a little bit of that. So let's just do a quick fire comparison of the two scopes. Right, so upon opening the box, what do you get? So obviously, open the box straight in front of you, you get both scopes. The Nikko doesn't come with a lot in the box. As I say, you've got your bikini covers with it, and you also get the smaller side wheel to go on there. That's pretty much the be all and end all of what you get with that Nikko. come across to the Falcon. In that box, as I said before, you get the nice size side wheel, sunshade, flip up covers, and you get a little Falcon badge in there. It's quite a nice little bit to add to your clothing or bag if you like that sort of thing. Yeah, so personal choice for the scopes. My money would have to be on the Falcon. It's a bit cheaper than the Nikko. I personally say it's brighter. The parallax is on par, if not slightly better for snapping in and out. And you get everything you need to just get it on the gun and get going. The only other thing you're going to have to buy is a pointer, unless you stick a little bit of either an old bit of card or metal shim or even an Allen key or a paper clip into your mount. You can then use that as a pointer if you bend it to the right shape for it. So yeah, for me, the smart money and the scope to go for out of this is now going to be the X50. I do believe it's going to overtake Nikko Stirling on what they've won and how the scope performs out in the field. So guys, that was our in-depth review of the Falcon X50 versus the Nikko Stirling Diamond 10-50x60. Hope that was enough information for you and it makes your decision that little bit easier to make when buying. If there is anything more you'd like to know, please either comment on the video below, give us a call, more than happy to talk you through anything over the phone. So thanks for watching and see you again soon.